Hello, welcome to Let's Talk. I'm Salley Gibney. Do you believe the holidays are almost upon us? Well, I'm so excited. Today I have Jason Pergament from BBA and two of his students, and we're going to talk about what the holidays mean to us and what's going on. Jason, welcome.
Thanks for having us on.
We're excited to have you. And would you introduce the guys?
Sure, I'm the director of the Student Success Program at BBA. We're looking at helping some of the first generation college-bound kids kind of get a foot up in high school and work towards meeting their goals, and I brought two of my star students here along with me. This is Nathaniel Garrison and
Hi,
Ray
Nathaniel.
Gormley.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
Good.
And maybe they can share with you kind of some of their interests and what they do at BBA.
Absolutely, and thank you for being here. First, tell us a little bit about you, your family.
What do you want to know about me?
I want to know about your family.
Well, we moved up to Vermont about 4 years ago from New York City by way of Belize, by way of California. So we've kind of had some cool experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got two little girls. Bryce is 4 years old. She just turned 4, and she's actually at school with Than's little sister, which is cool.
Really?
We were talking about
that's neat.
Gatlin on the way over here. That's Than's little sister. And then my daughter Brooklyn is about 18 months old.
I love that name.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's a little tank.
Is she really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, and we live here in town in Manchester. My wife works over at Maple Street. She's a teacher there, teaching 4th grade.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Neat. Oh,
Yep.
that's neat. Oh, that's
And
great.
we're really happy to be a part of this community. It's a great community.
Well, we're really happy to have you.
Thank you.
And you're doing a wonderful job. This whole new program at BBA, right?
Yeah, I came in here 4 years ago, and I've been charged with creating this program to kind of help level the playing field and help kids make the most out of their education. And Ray's class is the first class that I taught. Ray's cohort. I've been with Ray now for 4 years.
You're going to have to clue us in about this guy.
Yeah, he's got some perspective for sure. I hope he chooses what he shares. I've been Ray's teacher and Ray's coach as well. We won 2 state titles with lacrosse together.
Wow.
And Ray this weekend actually won the football title too.
You're going to have
He's
to tell
wearing
us
his football
all
shirt.
about that.
Scored
That
a touchdown. The first touchdown of the game, I believe, was
Did
yours,
you
right?
really? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So he's a
Great.
big shot around campus, and Than in his own right is an artist on campus and
neat.
works with the cinematography program and
Great.
does a lot of behind the scenes kind of stuff as well.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about yourself then.
Hi, my name's Nathaniel. I coming into my freshman year at BBA, I had joined Mr. Pergament's Student Success Program, going from 8th grade on, and I really thought it was going to take away from my summer at first, like honestly going into high school, but it was probably one of the most helpful things that has ever happened to me in my high school career so far. It's just been a really good voyage, and it's really pushed me into like picking my classes better, deciding my time better, and it's helped me figure out what I want to do past high school, what I want to go on throughout my life. And I'm currently going on a Costa Rica trip, and I'm going to be taking my cinematography skills over there, creating a documentary and just experiencing a different country and helping with children, helping sea turtles. It's kind of what I want to do with my life. I want to do something in social work in third world countries and other countries and just help along the world.
That is so neat. You know, when Katrina happened, I interviewed some of the kids from BBA, and they went down to New Orleans and they did a video there and a documentary, and it was absolutely fabulous. But that is really, really neat that you want to do that.
Yeah.
Great, good for you. And what year are you in now?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Ray, tell us about you.
Yep, so I'm a senior in BBA. I met Jason Pergament my freshman year during lacrosse, actually. He was my lacrosse coach.
Is he a good coach?
He's a great coach. That's when I first met him. And my freshman year, I did not take his class. But then I met him, and he said I should take it. So sophomore year, I took it, loved it. And then I had him as a coach for pretty much all 4 years of high school for lacrosse and football. And I also played football too, and I won the state championship. Me and my team won it actually this past Saturday. And it was the first time BBA has won it since 1947, I think.
Wow.
So it was a big deal. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
They had football, and then they stopped it, because I know when our son came, they didn't have it then.
Yeah.
It got reinstated in the 70s, I believe, right?
Yeah.
They did.
So you had a touchdown, I understand.
Yeah, it was the first touchdown of the game.
Ah, that must have been exciting.
It was very exciting.
That is so cool.
Huh?
And you didn't get hurt.
A little bit.
I'm beat up, but
Oh, yeah.
my finger and my groin, but I'm good.
It's certainly worth it for that gold medal, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's worth it all. It's
So
good.
what is the gold medal? Did everybody get one?
Yeah,
On the
so
team?
if you win the game, you get a gold medal for first place, and if you lose, you get like a little, I don't know, what, silver or something,
Silver.
bronze, something.
No, we don't know because we don't get that second place prize.
No, yeah, I don't know.
We go for first place.
Yeah.
Oh, that
What are
is
some of
so
your
neat.
What are some of your plans for after high school?
So my plans after high school is to go to college for 4 years, and then in college I want to do something with biology,
Oh,
kind of
neat.
science.
Great.
Preferably like marine biology, maybe like oceanography or something.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Do you have any idea where you might like to go?
Well, right now I'm looking at schools in like like the coastal area, like North Carolina, South Carolina, Maryland, even like schools on the coast.
Sure.
'Cause,
well, especially with oceanography.
Yeah,
that
exactly,
would be
because they have great
fabulous.
programs on the coast.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
An interesting thing about Ray is that he's a triplet. He's one of 3.
I didn't tell you that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm a triplet. I have 2 other brothers,
Oh my gosh.
Kevin and Billy.
He's the middle brother.
Yeah, I'm the middle.
Now, where are they?
Only in birth order. I think he's number 1 in my book. Sorry, Kevin and Billy, wherever you are.
Now, are they at Burton as well?
Yeah, there's seniors too. Well, there's triplets. So yeah.
Oh, that must have been very interesting growing up as a
Oh
triplet.
yeah, I give a lot of props to my mom and dad.
Oh yeah, I would
Putting up
think
with
so.
us still.
Yeah. That's I can't imagine having 3 at once.
Yeah, 3 boys too, right?
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. Oh, that's neat. Now, since this is the holiday show, I'd like you to share what the holidays mean to you. What, how do you feel about the holidays?
Well, personally, me, I love the holidays because of just the connection with my family. Like, we're always at each other's necks, like, as a family does. But in the holidays, we come together. We sit down, make our own food. We all eat together. It's a happy time.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. How many in your family?
I have a younger brother, a younger sister, and my mom and her boyfriend.
Oh, that's really neat. So you have a big family
Yeah.
dinner and get together.
Yeah. Sometimes the grandparents come down.
That's
It's
really
nice.
cool. Do you decorate?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But we put our tree up early.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. We love decorating.
Is it up yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
Soon.
but pretty
Thanksgiving?
soon.
It's Thanksgiving
Pretty
benchmark?
soon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so neat. So do you have any special decorations
Oh,
on the
yeah.
tree?
Every year we go out to this nice little decoration place right down the road.
The Christmas tree?
The Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And we pick out a decoration each, and we've been collecting over the years, and we put them on, and it's nice.
That's so neat. And then I guess when you have your own home, you'll take your own decorations
Yeah.
with you. I've always had a big Christmas tree, and since our kids are, now married and have families, I have a smaller tree. And what I do is I took all the ornaments that they made. So they're all handmade ornaments that the kids gave us over the years that I put on the tree, and it means so much.
Nice.
Having those special ornaments. What about you, Ray?
Well, same with Dan. Family's a big part of it. I have 6 members in my family. I have 2 other brothers and a sister. My sister's like 24, and she lives in Ireland actually.
Oh, wow.
So it's great. Like during the holidays, she always comes back.
Does she come home?
Yeah, it's great to see her and spend time with her for a couple weeks. So that's one of my favorite parts. And the food. I love the food.
Anything special?
It's a lot of
all of it?
All of that. I don't know. Yeah.
That's so neat. Do you have a special food?
Not really, but I remember pie. Lots of pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah, apple pie. Little a la mode on top?
Yeah.
How about you? What about your holiday
Yeah,
special
mine's a little
things?
bit different than these guys. I'm Jewish. I grew up in Long Island in a Jewish household, and so my wife is Christian, and so we get to have the best of both worlds, I guess. It's kind of fun. So we'll do the Hanukkah thing, and then we'll get the Christmas tree right after Thanksgiving. It's for us too. It's like right to get the Christmas tree right away. It's a lot of fun. We love setting it up and just giving our children a sense of community and connectedness.
And I think having both, our daughter, my son-in-law is Jewish, so our grandchildren celebrate both. They celebrate Hanukkah and they celebrate Christmas. And I think for them to have both, to know both celebrations is wonderful.
Yeah.
So it really is very, very, very special.
Right. It's just about giving them this idea
It's
of what
family.
the holidays,
It's all
exactly,
about family,
and bring it together.
Yeah, which is
Exactly.
really, really special. Now, what's going on? What's going on at BBA as far as the holidays and community kind of stuff? What are they doing?
Yeah, well, every holiday season we do like a holiday basket. So like each Avaji BBA gets a list of food that we have to bring in. We bring it in, decorate the basket, and we give it to. What do we give it to?
Dorset Church, I
Yeah.
believe, for the community share.
Community share. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's an amazing thing that's going on. That's where we met.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I brought a bunch of boys to help lift all those boxes and move things around the church. And I volunteer at the church too as often as I can.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really special time to be there and see those.
It is.
See those families show up and be
Yeah.
able to get the food and the gifts and just
And just the eyes just light up. You know, it's just being able to share the wonderful.
The gratitude is amazing.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
And this year too, with the food drive that we do for Thanksgiving, we're actually working with Student Council to support your program with the Carrying Blankets. The Student Council is going to be asking each advisory to contribute a small amount of money.
How neat.
Towards raising enough to buy some of those blankets that we talked about. So I think that's a
so
really
cool. Thank
great
you, guys.
initiative.
Yeah, you know, just a little thing about that. We ordered 500 blankets to be distributed to the coalition, to PAVE, to the Veterans Outreach. There's a shelter in Brattleboro, a drop-in shelter where people come overnight, and 100 people come there every night, and they didn't have one blanket. So we're giving them 100 blankets. So the homelessness is huge. It's much, much bigger than I ever expected.
Yeah, I mean, when we first started talking about that, I mean, do you guys realize the amount of homelessness that goes on around this community? It's
that number surprised me.
It's really surprising.
Yeah.
You know, you think that in this community, I mean, obviously there's different socioeconomic classes, you know, but to think that there are kids who are actually homeless or
and
families
a lot of them
that
are
homeless.
kids. A lot of them are kids.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
I feel like that, as kids, we don't really see that. It kind of goes over our head. But then, really, it's there, and it's a problem.
And they're invisible because
Yeah.
you don't see them. You know, and that's the thing that is so huge. And as I said, every place, PAVE, which is for domestic violence, and these families are in transition, their numbers are huge. The outreach, there are a lot of veterans that are homeless. And then, you know, of course, the Coalition for the Homeless. So the fact that all of you are aware of this and want to do something about it is huge. And that's one of the things that I wanted to share with our community is that our kids care.
Yeah.
They
Well,
really,
much like
really
myself,
care.
Ray's from Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn.
Yeah, are you really?
And you know, in New York City, all that stuff is very much in your face.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
You don't. I mean, whenever I would go to a restaurant, I'd always take the leftovers. You know, and I know I'd find someone in the street who was going to benefit from having some
Yeah.
food handed to them. That was just like regular practice. But up here, it's much more hidden.
It is.
You know, it
is.
doesn't really. I mean, there's a saying, I've heard some of the board members at BBA say this before, that you don't really see the poverty in Manchester until the leaves come off the trees. Then you can see some of the trailer parks, you can see some of the houses that are set back. You know, Manchester on the surface is such a beautiful, clean, wealthy community, and the surrounding towns as well, that it's hard to realize that all that is built on the backs of the working class. You know,
and there are a lot of people. Transportation is a big issue as far as get jobs, affordable housing. I mean, there are so many reasons why, and you could become sick, and it could wipe you out. You know, so I mean, there are a lot of things. So I think it's really neat that you are talking about this, and that you care about it.
Service is a big part of what we do in the Success Program. Ray has had the good fortune to travel, not good fortune, you've earned it, but to travel with me twice to California in the last 2 years. Right? You went both times, didn't you?
Yeah, and this past time we went, we're in Compton, right?
Yeah.
We're in Compton in Los Angeles, and we were at this school / church kind of thing.
It was at a mission. It was actually in East LA.
Yeah.
And we were at a mission. What were we doing there?
Well, I'm pretty sure the church is kind of like a homeless shelter too. So we went around the church and cleaned the church, set some stuff up, and then after we went to the school,
Did you?
which is a big school. There's a lot of kids there, and I'm pretty sure the school was for the kids who, what was it like?
It was for the mission. So the mission is the church is central to the community. It's a largely Latino community.
Yeah.
And the families who are parishioners of the church, it's a Jesuit church, they get to go to the school across the way. And so we had some students going to the school, and they were helping to organize the classroom and to play with the children.
Yeah.
Another group was in the church, because our church serves as a homeless shelter. So we cleaned, Cloroxed that church from top to bottom. And it obviously hadn't been done for quite some time. So it was a really cool experience. So with earning these trips at the end of the year, the students have to work hard, they have to get good grades, they have to have good attendance, they have to stay out of the dean's office. And if they could
Is that hard?
For some it is, for some it's a challenge for everybody. I think it's a motivator. It keeps the kids on track. It gives them something to work towards.
Yeah.
But with this ability to go on these trips, there always has to be a service component to it.
Right.
The previous year we went to Northern California and we worked at the Berkeley Food Cooperative.
Oh, wow.
And we were there for the day helping them to stock their shelves and get organized. And yeah, when we were in East LA, shortly after we left, there actually was a gang flare up there. And
Really?
yeah, and there was a shooting, and we just barely.
Wow.
Not that we were ever in danger, but just it brought to attention how serious the situation is in some
Can
of
you
these
imagine
communities.
living in a community and being in fear all the time?
Yeah.
And there are so many people who are. We're so fortunate to be here, and that we don't have that to live with, but so many people out there. So it's really, I love our youth. I totally believe in you guys. I really, really do. But I think that it's important for people to hear you, and that's why I'm so happy that you're here to share your caring and your concerns, and that both of you want to make a difference in this world.
For sure.
And that is so cool.
Yeah, and I agree with Mr. Pergman said about going to East LA. It was a great experience to go there and actually see like what we see in the news and stuff. Like it's happening there. Like we were there helping, and it just felt great to see it. It really opened my eyes, and it was a great experience.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth mentioning that with Veterans Day coming up this week, Ray's father actually is a Marine.
Oh, is
He's
he?
a retired.
He was.
Retired
Wow.
Marine.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, my brother was.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And then also a retired New York City
Gung-ho.
New York City Fire Department as well.
Oh, really?
So service runs deep in Ray's
Yeah,
family.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And
that's
I think that
cool.
plays into Ray's desire to help make the world a better place,
Right.
having that.
And I'm sure with you too.
Yeah, when you go into BBA, you're putting a lot of service trips. We have sophomore service day, we have a freshman service day, and it's meant to just make sure that everyone is doing their part. But after that, you feel like, hey, that felt really good. And for those like myself, you really want to spread the community. You want to make sure other people feel good about themselves. You want to make sure they want to make other people feel good about themselves. That's why I am so excited about going to a different country, is spreading this community, spreading the word, help others, help yourself. It feels good. Everyone else is happy.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It has such an impact. And you never underestimate what it will mean to you. I went to Bangladesh, and we shared coins with the children in Bangladesh. And seeing the lifestyle and the poverty and yet the love of family, the love of country, they can teach us.
Yeah.
And you see these people and you're like, oh my gosh, they don't have much of anything, and yet they're just beautiful, beautiful people who really care about each other and care about their country, and they can teach us. One of the things the children there, and it'll be interesting to see when you meet the children, when you talk to them, they look straight in your eye. They look right at you. They don't look down. They don't look away. They look right at you, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. I think you guys are just so great. I really do. Is there anything else that BBA is doing that we can?
Well, there's always the Elf Express.
Yeah.
Have you helped out with that in the past?
I haven't helped out with that yet.
We're going to talk about that with Neil. Neil
Yeah.
Post is here to talk about that. Is
Great.
cool. So what are the
That's-
kids doing?
Well, our kids are the elves.
They
and
are the
performers.
entertainers,
Yes,
yeah.
they're the entertainment. They put the event on. I've taken my own children on the elf train
my
for the past 2
grandchildren.
years.
Yeah.
It's great for me too, because I live in town, and we can hear the train coming through town. And every time we hear that train go by, Brycey looks up and Santa, and I'm like, he's watching. And that's one thing. Being Jewish, I didn't grow up with Santa's looking over your shoulder thing, but I've certainly enjoyed using it to my advantage, and to a reminder that Santa is always watching.
Yeah,
and
look
that
out.
train cue is great, because it's just like, oh, there it is. He's coming through town to check on you. So that plays well into the whole mystique of it.
So fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Well, I have just so enjoyed having you guys here. Is there anything else you want to share about the holidays, or what you're doing, or what your dreams are?
I just think it's really important how much that we do put into the community, and how much more that we hope to do, and how much that we want to do in the future. Like the holiday baskets, the Thanksgiving baskets, the Elf Express, just lighting up kids' days. It's all helpful.
And do you find that your friends feel the same way that you do?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Really? You
Yeah.
have that sense of community and that friend.
BBA is a very good place to get that sense of community. Everyone is
That is
brother and
really-
sister.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. It's great to, during the holidays to see how much work we've done to help the community, and also to see how much more we can do and stuff.
Yeah.
We're never done. We're always trying to go to do the next thing to help out. So
Ray lives in the community of Danby,
Yeah.
and So he has the choice to come to BBA. Some of his kids who he might have gone to elementary school now could go to Mill River, right?
Rutland stuff,
Or Rutland High. And so, you
Yeah.
know, it's a very intentional choice to come to BBA.
Sure.
But I find that the community that we've built here in our little niche is really special, really unique. I've taught, like I said, all over the world. I've taught in New York City. I've taught in, Belize. I've taught
Wow.
California.
That must mean
I've taught in something like, I think, 6 or 7 different schools in my career, my 15-year career. But nothing has been as well-rounded and all-inclusive as I found Burton to be.
It's interesting because when you came, your hope was for that.
Yeah.
You know, when I remember talking with you when you were first starting the program, and you even feel that this definitely has transpired and that you see it growing and growing.
Yeah, I think it was that way already. I think what I've been able to do is just help coordinate efforts. I think there was already so much great stuff in place. You know, there were already organizations, the community food cupboard, and the summer lunch program. And there were already things in place that were supporting the families and the children. It's just a matter of helping to coordinate everything and get all the pieces moving in the same direction, or having someone in my capacity to act as a conduit for information to make sure that the help is reaching the right people.
That's interesting. So you coordinate all of that.
I'm certainly in the middle of all these different things. You know, I mean, each person has their niche and contribute their own thing. I just kind of act as an avenue for people to communicate and to bring the pieces together. Of course, I run my own programming as well, but that's done with the help of the great teaching staff at BBA. I've got a great group of teachers. I run the summer camp for incoming freshmen. And Than worked at the summer camp last summer. He was one of our counselors.
Yeah.
So he acted in the capacity of a mentor to the younger kids. But we had something like 15 staff members and, 10 students?
A lot of students,
Right?
yeah.
Like upwards of 10 students who were working at the camp as mentors. And so it's...
And how many were campers?
We had 36 campers this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a huge ratio. So they really get individual attention. They really get to feel like...
So how are these students chosen?
They sign up for the program. You know, I work with all the sending schools, so I work with the counselors at Dorset and the counselors at MEMS and Floodbrook specifically, and Wynn Hall, Mountain School Wynn Hall as well. And I work with all these guys to identify the students that they might be concerned about, and then I'll reach out to those students beforehand. Like when I go back to the Dorset school, I'll bring Than with me, and we'll have a
Nice.
parent information
Nice.
night. And I find like I can say it a million times, but when it comes from Than, it's that much more powerful.
Oh, it means so much more.
You
I
know,
mean, when
coming
you
from the
guys are
students'
talking,
voice.
you know, kids will listen.
Yeah.
You know, I go out and talk to kids and sort of like, oh, she's a little old Grammy. You know? But when you guys do it, it really means so much. You know, it is really cool. This has been absolutely wonderful.
thank you for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thanks for having
so
us. That's
much
great.
for being here.
No
And do you have
problem.
any final words that you'd like to say?
It was an honor, and I'd love to come back again with some other students sometime.
I would love that. That would be absolutely great. And the holidays are coming, so it's very exciting. When do you go on vacation? When is it?
Well, we have Thanksgiving break coming up shortly. We're off on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. That's actually opening day at Stratton, so I'm excited to get up there and shred a little bit.
Snowboarding.
Oh, yeah.
So you're
Snowboard,
you're a
snowboard,
snowboarder
yep.
too?
And I'm a
my son
skier.
is too.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then Christmas break, I actually don't know the date. It's too far ahead for right now.
Yeah, I can't think about
I'm
that.
trying to get through this week first.
I used to watch Malcolm Down the Mountain. Of course, you never can identify who it is because you all look alike. And I'd be like, oh my God, be careful, you know. But it's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
No, kids these days, they have their swag. They light up the mountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do.
I'm sure Than wears something that's easy to identify him.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being
Thank you for
here,
having
and
us.
Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas and
Thank
and
Happy Hanukkah.
Yes, absolutely. And
Happy New
Thanksgiving,
Year.
because Thanksgiving is coming
nice.
first.
Yeah, it's not even Christmas.
It was wonderful. You guys are, you certainly inspire all of us. And you give us hope for the future.
Thank you.
Because you guys are our future, you know that.
Yeah.
You really are. And you're the ones who are going to make it happen. So thank you
Thanks for all you do.
so much for being
Yeah.
here. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. And I love that shirt. I wonder if we can get a look at that shirt, this beautiful, beautiful shirt. I wish you brought your gold medal.
I should have.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back. Weren't those kids wonderful? They're absolutely fabulous. And Jason, well, he's unbelievable. I am so happy to have 3 wonderful members of our community who are doing absolutely fabulous things. I'd like to introduce,
Neil Post.
how are you, Neil?
Great.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking.
Linda Dronzek.
And Philippa Cully.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Now,
having us.
Share a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm originally from New York, New Jersey. I closed my business 8 years ago, moved here full-time. Although I do have a 1.5-year-old grandson that we miss dearly in New Jersey.
I know how that is, yes,
we do go down.
absolutely.
They're coming up for Thanksgiving, and we're going down for Christmas, so we'll get to see
great.
them in the near future.
Great.
And right now, I never volunteered before. Since I've been in Vermont, I've been doing a lot of volunteer work, and it's very rewarding.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities, aren't there, in Vermont? I mean, it's
There are.
absolutely unbelievable. Well, share a little bit about what kind of volunteer work do you do?
I've been with the Manchester Lions Club for 7 or 8 years now, and I also an adaptive ski instructor with the Bart Center up at Bromley Mountain.
Wow, that's both are very, very amazing
And
things.
both
yeah.
rewarding.
Very rewarding, yeah. Well, we'll talk about those things a little bit more. Linda, tell us about you.
I grew up in Long Island. I moved up here in 1971. I have 4 children. My daughter Amy, who owns The Perfect Wife.
Oh, and she is absolutely one of my favorite people in the whole world.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And my son Stephen, who works with Bill, he's here in town too.
Another wonderful guy.
Right, and
Yeah.
then I have a son who lives in Exeter, New Hampshire, and a daughter who lives down in Stuart, Florida. And I retired from Factory Point Bank many, many years ago. And I was on the food cupboard board for about 18 years. Just gave up my position there in June, and do lots of stuff around town.
Well, and we're going to talk about your sharing project, the Christmas program, because that's absolutely unbelievable. Philippa, tell us about you.
Well, my husband, daughter, and I moved to the area about 10 years ago, and we had lived in the Boston area before that. My daughter's now a freshman at BBA, which she is loving, and we just love this area. It's been a great move for us, and made a lot of friends, and the natural beauty of the place is what keeps us here.
And what did you do in the past?
In the past, I worked in fundraising at a few places in Boston, and then as director of alumni programs at the School of the Museum of Fine Arts, also in Boston. Then, when my daughter was born, took a lot of time with her. Ended up by homeschooling her for quite a few years, and during that time,
That's quite something, isn't it?
it was
Homeschooling.
a fantastic experience. And then during that time, I also trained as a massage therapist, and I've volunteered quite a bit as doing massage for people who have cancer or are in cancer treatment or have had cancer. And I still work as a massage therapist part-time.
Wow, and that's such a gift. That's
I love
unbelievable.
it. It's a
really
wonderful,
is.
wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to give to people.
And now you are?
I'm the new director of Neighbor to Neighbor. This is my 3rd week. Very excited. I'm loving it. Still learning the ropes. Took over from Kate Koss, who did a fantastic job.
She's
and
amazing.
She is
Absolutely
amazing.
yeah.
Developed a fantastic program and work with Allison Hill, who's our assistant.
That's great, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now, Neil, we want to hear all about the ELF train.
The Elf Express. Well, it's our 4th year. We're running it this year, December 19th and 20th. And we get nothing but positive comments.
Oh, rave reviews.
Rave reviews. In the last 3 years, we really haven't gotten any negative comments at all.
So tell our audience about it. What does it entail? And
Entails a lot of work, but no, it's all worth it. What we do is we bring the vintage trains into Manchester, run right out of RK Miles Depot Station, and we do it for the 2 days. We do 5 one-hour rides a day for a total of 10 rides. And we provide a lot for the cost of our tickets, in our opinion, because we've looked at other train rides around. So what we do is we, of course, have refreshments on the train, hot chocolates
it's
and
fabulous,
cookies,
yeah.
and we supply little gifts, sometimes big gifts for the kids. We have the performing arts from BBA, directed by Jim Raposa, of course. He puts on a whole production on the train. So of the hour train ride, they're probably performing about 15 to 20 minutes on a moving train. And of course,
and they're fabulous. They dress up as little elves, and the girl, they're just wonderful. They dance through. They bring everybody out into the aisles, and it's fabulous.
and of course, all the costumes were handmade by Lions Club members. you know,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, we've done
my
everything.
goodness.
Yep, even the shoes.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, we have a surprise visit from the big guy.
And his wife, too.
And his wife. His wife is there too.
Yeah.
And just it's great to see a lot of smiling faces. And I think elderly people love it as much as the kids
Oh, we
do.
did.
Yeah.
We did. We definitely
You're
did.
not elderly, but
Well,
you know.
thank you for that.
But we bring in some of the groups in town, you know, that do provide for the elderly, and they just have a great time too. So
Now, you provide tickets to different organizations, don't you?
yeah, of course we sell tickets, but we do donate a certain amount of tickets. Plus, we get a lot of help from the community who sponsor tickets. Certain businesses and people in town provide tickets for people on the train, which is really great.
Yeah.
You know, but we probably as a club donated about 230 tickets last year, which is about almost 10% of what we bring in.
Really? Now, how many people are on? I mean, how many rides are there?
We can handle about 2,500 people, maybe a little more over the 2
my
days.
goodness.
You know,
Wow.
and we get close to that. We get close to
Yeah.
that, you know, with the sponsor tickets. You know, so it's really it's become a family tradition for a lot of people because
Yeah.
we're seeing ticket sales for the 4th year in a row from certain families. So that's pretty good. Yeah.
Which is really. Now, tell us what the Lions Club does with all of the funds that it brings in, because you're incredibly generous.
There's so much. First of all, what surprised me, I just learned this a little while ago, over the last 4 years, the Lions Club has donated $212,000 to the community. And
That's amazing.
one of the things I think that's unique about our club is we keep most of the money we raise in the community because there's so much of a need.
Right.
So I would say probably 95% of that stays right here in town.
Wow.
And we do different fundraisers. Maple Leaf Half Marathon is another one. Plus we do smaller fundraisers. But
Our son and daughter came and were in the marathon. They came from Massachusetts.
I've run it
to
too.
be in it.
Yeah. So, but it's the organizations that we support. You know, of course, by request. But you know, the food cupboards, the Thanksgiving dinners, a lot of organizations, Second Chance Animal Center. I can go on and on. The list is long, but again, it's this particular area that we serve because we do get requests from all over the Northeast, and
I'm sure.
there's just too much of a need right here.
Yeah, and there's a huge need here. Yeah. Linda, tell us about your wonderful
Well,
event.
the Holiday Project is what Bill and I run. We've been doing it for, I don't know, we've been married almost 42 years. We've been doing it since we were newly married, so between 40 and 35 and 40 years.
Wow.
We started out with 14 families in Manchester, and last year I think we had 94 families just in Manchester. We use funds that are donated, and we give clothing and toys to the children and food baskets to all of the people that apply. We have probably about 50% seniors, and the other 50% are people with children. We ask local volunteers, the local congregations usually adopt a bunch of families. They will go out and they'll buy the clothing for the kids. We have organizations that will adopt, they will take care of buying toys, and then we have people that will go through the toys and say, okay, this one looks like it'll be good for Jimmy, and this one will be nice for Janie, and so on and so forth.
And the different ages of the children, you know, to make them age appropriate.
Thanks to the Lions Club, they will go and Bill goes and orders all of the food, and the Lions go and pick it up and bring it over to St. Paul's, where there is, well, you've been there, you know.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
Thousands of pounds of food. And upstairs.
And it's your vegetables, and it's pasta and sauce, and I mean all kinds of things.
All sorts of stuff, eggs and milk, and and then
Everything
downstairs I have all the tables set up with the clothing and the toys, and it's
the wrapping and the I mean
and the sorting. And this year the library had a wonderful book sale, so I went in there and I bought, I mean, the kids' books were 50 cents, and some of them still were brand new. They looked like they'd never been opened. I bought, I think, about 75 children's books, different ages. So They'll all be given
wonderful.
out. We decided a couple of years ago that every child on the list is going to get at least
book.
one book.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
so,
fabulous.
yeah,
Oh, that is so
it's
fabulous.
great.
It's unbelievable to see, when you go down there and there's all these toys and all these things, and each person who donates goes out and shops. They bring
Right.
the toys and they bring them wrapped. But there are so many that aren't wrapped.
I
So
know.
you have to, Linda is there wrapping and distributing, and it's a huge undertaking,
Yeah,
undertaking.
it is.
Do you find that there are families who come back year after year?
Oh, absolutely. We now have the children of some of the original families,
Wow.
which is a sad thing because you keep hoping that maybe
They'll get
things
beyond
will
that.
change.
Yeah. The other thing is that sometimes I know when I was at the community sharing project, there was someone who had been a volunteer the year before and now was a participant. And
Yeah.
she was so, felt so bad about it. And
Yeah.
we said, this is why we're here,
Yeah.
So there are
Yeah.
people who do find themselves on hard times.
Right.
And, for no fault of their own. And,
Yeah.
and here they are. And thank
Yeah.
goodness that they have you doing this because
Yeah.
it means so much.
And right, and they're all so grateful. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful experience to know that we can help these people provide something for their kids at Christmas time. So,
Well,
yeah.
listening to the young fellas before talking about the holidays and what it means to you and getting together with family. So to be able to give a family Christmas
Right.
is a huge
Yeah.
gift. It's
The
a huge
first
gift.
couple of years we did it, Bill would get a Santa Claus suit from Larry Duffany at Ben Franklin's, and he would deliver to every family. And it was the most exciting thing to see the door open and,
Santa
there's
be
Santa
there.
and the kids looking with big open eyes and open mouths and, oh, Santa!
Isn't
great.
that
Unfortunately, with that many families
amazing?
now,
you
you can't do it.
Maybe
but-
the Lions could provide Santa Clauses that could go and deliver these things.
Right.
Aside from the elves.
Santa comes from the North Pole.
Start driving.
Oh, when we were children, there was a neighbor who would come Christmas morning, and he would come to our house on the way to the hospital because he would go in and deliver things to the children in the hospital. But he was a neighbor and a friend, so he would stop at our house, and he was the real Santa Claus, And my parents would tell him what we received, so he'd say, Sally, how did you like that? And Govian, how did you like that? And we were like, oh my goodness. Those are the memories that you have that
Yeah.
are just unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable. Well, you have been such a gift to so many people. You have no clue.
Well, there are.
And you just do it over and over again,
Well,
which is
thanks to all the people in the community who every year offer to shop for these families. I have a family that calls me every year. They live in East Hampton, out on Long Island, and they will shop for a family. They are so wonderful. The first year they did it, they said, there's so much money here, and we get so upset
Yeah.
with all of the, what it's like.
unnecessary things.
Right. And they said, we just want to be able to help some family. And every year they call me. It's wonderful.
It's really, I had a friend who started something like this out in Port Jefferson on Long Island, and we would go with our children and have them help put the baskets together and pick out a present. And I remember Matt had picked out something for a boy his age, and I said to him, honey, this might be the only present this boy is getting. And Matt was like, oh no. And I said,
Yeah.
yes. He said, I better get him something bigger. It was like he couldn't imagine that
Yeah.
there's a child
Yeah.
who this would be all that he would be
I know.
getting. So it's such a gift to all
Well,
of us.
Bill's, about 15 or 20 years ago, Bill decided, because we do it here, that he would do it down in Tennessee with his railroad employees, and all year long they take money out of their paycheck and put it into an account, and at Christmas time they get a group of kids from the area. I don't know how many there are, but they take them out and they buy them clothing and toys, and it's
Wow.
wonderful.
And let them pick
it's
it out.
it's such a wonderful thing for the employees to see
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a gift.
Yeah.
It really is. It
Yeah.
gives hope, and yet it also is just as much of a gift for the people who are giving
Right.
as it is for the
And
people.
it shows that people care.
Exactly.
It's a reminder of what's
Exactly.
important.
Absolutely.
right.
Philippa, tell us about your new position with Neighbor to Neighbor, which we all know is such a wonderful organization.
Well, I'm super excited. It's a wonderful organization. As you said, we provide friendly visits to elderly in the community and shut-ins. We also help people who can't get out get to doctor's appointments, do grocery shopping, do the general errands that we take for granted when we can drive ourselves and we can get out on our own. And it also allows younger people in the community to interact with elders and have a multi-generational communication going on between people.
Which is such a gift.
Yes, and we do have,
Yeah.
as we have BBA students do some volunteering on some of their volunteer days. We have other students participate. We've had some groups from Orbis come and volunteer with some people who might need their yards raked or activities done that they can't do themselves.
And it allows people to stay in their homes.
Yes,
I
which
mean,
is
it is
vital.
really such a gift. It's such a gift. And we've all been watching it grow. And, you know, now, will you be having something for the holidays?
There is going to be a holiday concert that Kate set up before I took over, and that's going to be, I think there's an Arlington choir that's going to come sing.
nice.
And they've had this event has happened several years in a row. And it is open to our members of Neighbor to Neighbor, and it should be great.
I'm sure it will be.
And I'm sure we'll be
it will
helping people with maybe holiday shopping and other activities before the holidays.
Yeah, which is really, I know one of my volunteers for my organization is Mary Miner, and you know Mary Miner.
Oh,
Mary
I love
is in her
Mary.
90s. She was named the Volunteer of the Year. She is absolutely one of the most incredible people. And she has a Neighbor to Neighbor person who comes and helps her and
Wonderful.
takes her to different things. And
Yeah.
it has meant the world to her. You know, it's such a gift, and it's a gift to the people who are volunteering.
Right.
You know, to have an opportunity to do something like this.
And
And
what's
it's
wonderful-
flexible, right?
It's very, very flexible. What's wonderful is that we have some volunteers who might drive someone to one doctor's appointment a month. And some months, if they're not around, that they volunteer when they can. We have some people
Right.
that drive someone or help someone every week, and there's really a lot of flexibility for people to volunteer when they can.
And you really need men too, don't you?
Yes, men, women, everyone.
Another job for you, Neil.
We'll take any and all volunteers.
You should not have one moment that you're not,
No.
not
Talk
doing
to my
something.
wife, though.
Yeah, because I remember Kate mentioning that, you know, it's important for the men because
Right.
a lot of the men feel more comfortable with a
Sure.
man, you know, than with a woman. So it really is but it is a wonderful gift to the community. And there are so many other wonderful things that are happening in the community that we will have a list at the end of the show so that people will be able to look and see and have contacts. There's the community sharing in Dorset, which is very similar to what you do.
Yep.
There's Red Stockings down in Arlington. There's also Santa's Shop, which is with the foster children, and we will have boxes at St. Paul's Church and also down at St. Margaret's Thanksgiving weekend. And people are invited to bring gifts that they set up, and the foster children come and pick out gifts to give to their birth families and also to their foster parents, and they are able to wrap them there and everything. So it's a really, really wonderful thing. And Valerie Miner was going to be here, but unfortunately was unable to attend. But she said that the kids come in with their lists and
very nice.
pick out specific things that they're looking for. So that's another wonderful thing that's going on. What else, Linda? Can you think of anything else? I'm trying to think. There's just so
The
much.
North Shore Bookstore does something with trees, and
Oh, right,
you can
there.
choose a book.
Yes.
You can purchase a book for
Yes.
a certain
And I'm
child.
not sure whether they give those to community sharing or.
I'm not sure how the back end
like-
works, but I
Yeah.
know that there are little trees, and you can pick a
And
book
you
for.
can pick
They
out.
say a girl of a certain age would
Yeah.
like this kind of book, and then you can purchase it, and they'll
Which is
deliver it.
really, really very
Right. Which is
special.
wonderful.
And
Yeah.
the trees are all around with all of the little angels on them, and you have yours.
Yeah, we don't do that because community sharing's been doing that for so long that I didn't want to,
Infringe on that.
get into their territory, right?
Yeah.
But luckily, we have a lot of people from all of the congregations in town that will step up to the
Step
plate.
up, and so we do have a wonderful community, don't we?
We
It's
do.
just
We do.
absolutely amazing. There,
Yep.
You know, as we were saying, the need is great, but the generosity is huge.
Well, I think that people don't realize how generous businesses are, people are in town, because it kind of goes unsaid. But I know for our event, for the Elf Express, we have so many sponsors that are really good to us. I mean, you know, you have RK Miles and Manchester Designer Outlets providing the site. We couldn't run the train without the site.
Right.
Vermont Country Store is always in the background with sponsoring tickets and providing all the cookies for the train.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
You have
nice.
Spiral Press. You know, the Drumsticks are very supportive as far as helping with expenses, but also
Spiral Press
putting
is
people on
always
the
so
train.
generous with everything.
You know,
everything.
and then we have even the banks are coming forward. The TD Bank and Berkshire Bank, you know, helps with tickets as well as expenses for the train. And then local shops like Christmas Days, you know, very supportive. And there's just so many. Josiah Allen just came forward for the first time this year with us, a
that's
major
nice.
sponsor.
Good.
You know, and they just want to see people enjoy the ride because it's a very expensive event to put on.
Sure.
So, you know, we do need those sponsorships.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the smiling faces. Those ticket sponsors are very important, too.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
And now, people, if they want to purchase a ticket, but if they want to volunteer or donate, they just contact the Lions Club.
They can contact the Lions Club. They can send an email to lionselfexpress@gmail.com. They can go to our website and contact us through the website or the Facebook page, which is manchesterlionselftrain.com. You know, there's several ways, and I'm sure that everybody in the community knows a lion that they could talk to. You know? So,
I would think so. I
Yeah.
would think so. And Linda, how about with the
Well,
sharing?
people can call me. Actually, people that are going to be served mostly pick up a form at the food cupboard.
Okay.
And once again, it's only Manchester residents because the other towns are served by other groups. Or they can stop in at Bill's office, which is the building right next to the new library.
Where Neighbor to Neighbor is?
No,
Oh, we're
you're
actually
no, they're in the old
Oh,
building.
they're in the old building. Okay.
Yes,
Just
right.
27
Yes.
across from
And
church.
Allison, who works for Bill, has forms right there that they can give out.
Oh, that's great.
And for people that want to help me, they can call me at home, 362-1513.
And we will have that on the screen. We'll put all that
Okay.
information.
Or they can email me at ldrunsick@comcast.net.
And that's
Yes.
great. Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
wonderful. Well, I thank you all for everything that you're doing
Thank you.
because
Thank
you
you
for having
enrich
us.
our community. You know, it makes the community what it is. And for all of the different groups that were not able to be here, for all of you out there, we will have a list at the end of the show, and you will be able to contact them if you want to be involved, or if you want to be a participant in whatever they're doing. We do have a wonderful community, and there's so many wonderful things happening. I can't believe Thanksgiving is just 2 weeks away, and then Christmas. Oh my gosh,
coming
it's going to
quick.
be too
Yeah.
quick, too quick. I think as I get older, it comes faster. Yeah.
It does.
I don't know. Thank you so much for being here. I really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Sally.
And all of you out there, thanks for joining us. And until next time, let's talk. Bye-bye.